I'm Dave Noriega, and today we're going to take you on a little bit of a tour at the Davis County Clerk's office. Brian McKenzie, this guy right here, is going to walk us through the entire process of what happens once the ballots arrive, how they curate them, how they look at them, the entire process. And again, it's not just exclusive to us. This is open for people to watch. Poll watchers are here right now as we see, and we'll take you on a little tour.
Right now, all of our teams are working on ballots that have come in from drop boxes. So we need to get those all straightened and organized and remove the privacy tab from the envelopes. So that's what these amazing people are working on right here. After that's done, really the first step that we have to do is we have to get these checked in. So we want to take an accounting of what ballots we have and make sure that they're logged in. We're going to validate that the envelope is, or authenticate the ballot was issued from our office. We're going to make sure the voter has not voted yet, and then we're going to make sure that the signature matched the voter. So we do that on this large machine over here, the black one with the blue screen. That's the Agilis machine. So we scan the ballots through. It's going to date stamp them. It's going to take a picture of the envelope. Then over in this area, on these laptops here, that's where the signature verification happens. So they're looking at the image of the envelope, comparing that to the image of the signature that we have on file with the voter registration record.
So right now they're peeling back the signature on the envelope, right? So
just peeling the tab off to where they can expose the signature.
Okay.
Yep.
This isn't where they're comparing the signature
Not yet.
They're just looking. They're just exposing it, and then they'll take that where they'll.
This is a prep step.
Okay.
They're prepping them to be able to be scanned through to begin that process. Yep.
Okay.
Then right here, this is where the signature verification will happen. They'll be sitting here at these laptops. As you walk through, you'll be able to see, images of the envelopes popping up and signatures on the screen that they're looking at. You'll also see the other laptop on the right-hand side. That's connected to our voter database, and so they can look at other images of signatures. With every voter record, we could have up to 5 different images of their signatures. We capture that from voter registration, driver's license division, previous elections that they participate in. So we're able to look at that and compare those signatures. That's all done digitally, and it's all done by human. So every single envelope in Davis County is reviewed by the human eye to compare the signature and look at that. If the signature is determined not valid or not matching, that triggers the curing process that we want to reach out to the voter. We're going to call them, we're going to text them, we're going to email them, we're going to send a letter to them. Any of those options are available to us to where we can reach out to the voter and try to resolve that to where we can count their ballot.
Because on the envelope, when I was filling mine out, it asked for my phone number and my email address. Is that the first two that you touch?
Phone number is the first one,
Yeah.
because usually we can resolve that really quick with the voter over the phone.
Phone call or a text?
Phone call.
Okay.
Phone call is our primary use.
So a lot of people won't pick up their phone if they don't recognize the number. So is there a number that pops up, or does it just say unknown number?
It'll show that it's coming from Davis County.
Okay.
So we don't mask our number or anything like that, but we also leave messages. And so we want to do everything that we can to give that voter an opportunity to know, hey, there's a question with your ballot. This is how you get it resolved.
So on that message, when you leave it and I see it, can I just return that call, or do I have to jump through any push 7, push 9, go to 4? Okay.
You call Davis County Clerk's office, a person's going to answer.
Okay.
So, yeah, we want to make sure that, again, as quickly as possible, we want to get those ballots resolved. If you call us back, a person's going to answer, and we'll be able to get you taken care of. Yeah. So if the signature does match,
yes,
those are great. Those are ballots that can be counted. So all of these ballots are going to be run through that machine again. It's going to sort out the good from the bad. All of the good ones are going to be put into a batch of 200 ballots. Those ballots will remain in that batch for the rest of their time. And they'll go through a couple of processes. We're going to walk over here to this other window, and then I can kind of walk you through what happens there, okay?
Sorry, what are these?
These are
these ballots, or are these?
Yes, they're ballots and envelopes from previous elections.
Oh, really?
So we have to keep all of our election returns for 22 months after the election. And so they're boxed, put on pallets. We have to shrink wrap them and seal them to make sure that nobody tampers with them.
And I see no access to them.
No access to them, yeah. Not from out here anyways. You can access from the inside, but...
okay. So these are previous ballots?
Yep, from
boxed
different elections.
Up, saved.
Yeah, and you can kind of, if you look down through here, you can see that these ones are from the primary of 2024. So they'll tell you what's in there. It'll have the batch numbers because we have to keep everything by batch. And so we'll organize those. We also have the 2020 election here because of the legal battle that's going on, the 2020 election records. So we still have to retain those and hold on to them until that gets all resolved. So here we are 4 years later, and we still have them.
Still hanging on.
We still have them, yeah. So, but you'll see out here we've got other pallets of boxes from this election that we're starting to compile and organize.
Those poll watchers?
Those are poll watchers that are with us today, yep. Okay, so in this area, after the ballots are determined that they can be counted based upon their signature review, we put them in these little jogging machines here. That's going to just vibrate the ballot down into the envelope to put it in the right position so that when we start slicing it open, we don't damage the ballot.
Oh, okay.
This machine right here, the ballots are going to be fed through there. It'll take it down, it slices 3 sides of the envelope open, brings it down here in front of the operator. It separates the ballot from the envelope. This is a critical step in our process because once that happens, there's no matching it back to the envelope, okay? And that's important because in Utah we have a constitutional right to a secret ballot.
Yeah.
So that creates that separation, removes the personal identifiers from the ballot itself. So
all of that is handled through the machine.
Right here. Yep.
It's not somebody that's opening it up, separating it, looking at.
Usually it's here. If this machine is not keeping up or if it is down for some reason, technical issues, we can still do it manually. But what we do at that point is we will separate the ballot from the envelope. The ballot will not be unfolded at that point until it is completely separated from the envelope. Then a different step will take those ballots and unfold them, inspect them for damage or anything like that we need to be worried about. So that's all kind of happening simultaneously here. We're going to see a lot of that a little bit later on today when that's happening. Ballots, again, will be reviewed for any kind of damage, food spilled on them, torn, anything like that, to where they can be replicated because everything has to be counted, right? But if it can't be counted through our scanners, we have to log that. So we mark the original ballot that has been replicated. We create an exact replica of that. 2 election workers have to work together on that to make sure that that happens. And then ultimately, all of the ballots are going to be brought right through these 3 scanners here that are up against the wall. Those are the counters that are actually counting the ballots as they go through. None of our equipment that is utilized to count or tabulate ballots is ever connected to the internet. They're not capable, they're not set up for it, they have no connections. That's really important. It's a safety feature, it's a security feature. Folks will tell us and say, well, you can hack voting machines. And I will tell them, yeah, you can if you have 3 things: knowledge, time, and access. I have no control over knowledge or time, but I do have control over access. My job is to prevent unauthorized access. So that's exactly what we do with our devices here. All of the election equipment we talk about 3 levels of encryption. Vendor-specific encryption. So these take little media sticks to transfer information from. You can't just go buy one from Walmart and plug it in here. It won't read it because it doesn't have the vendor-specific encryption. It has equipment-specific encryption. I can't take a media stick that's programmed for one of my machines over here and plug it into the machine over there. It won't accept it. Then I have election-specific encryption. So even if it's a media stick from the vendor that's programmed for that type of device, if it's not programmed for this election, it won't accept it.
So you can't use past sticks to access it. Okay.
Exactly, yep. So again, those are features that we have built into our systems to make sure our systems are safe and secure. But
similar process statewide?
Very similar, yes. Yeah, you're going to find those differences in every county based upon their size. They may have bigger scanners, they may have smaller scanners. They may have a big opener like this, they may have a smaller opener. But the basic processes are in place. Chain of custody, verification of the voter, control over accuracy of the ballots, all of those type of things are going to be applicable in all the counties.
Now, as you're walking me through this, I've talked to so many of the county clerks, and they say, hey, we'll walk you through the process. This isn't just specific behind the scenes information for me. You will give this information to anybody. You'll walk them through this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, last night we hosted an event with Fruit Heights Youth City Council and Kaysville Youth City Council, and some of their and then some of their regular city council members joined us. We spent about an hour of our time with them last night, walked them through the process. They were able to kind of see some of our election workers working, which was really exciting.
So you walked me through, and then I've actually noticed some poll workers, what do you call them?
Poll watchers.
Poll watchers. So I've seen poll watchers just kind of meandering around, watching the process, and they have freedom to, and that's why you have these windows to be able to watch the entire process.
Absolutely. So we installed this new observation area. State law requires all of our processes to be within 6 feet of public observation. Many of our processes are within 6 feet or less. Because of the windows that we've installed, 4-foot windows every 2 feet, all the way around our processing area, and we've moved all of our processes up as close as we possibly can so folks can come in and watch.
What I did notice though, but there's not really access. They can't communicate, they can't talk to the poll workers as they're doing their job. What if they have any questions?
So we have permanent staff that come and check in on our election observers, our poll watchers regularly, ask them, hey, do you have any questions? Is there anything we can do to help? And give them that opportunity to ask questions if they have something like that. We do have it open so where you can hear sounds in there, because we want them to both see and hear what's going on.
I didn't notice that up there. You're right. It has an opening, and you do hear kind of the hum of the folks that are working.
The process.
Okay.
It'll be really humming here in a little while. Get out and vote. Polls are open today. Well, while we focus a lot of our time and energy on the vote by mail ballots that are returned, because 95% of our people choose to use that vote by mail ballot, which is great. You can still use it. Take it to a drop box. It's going to be the best way to avoid a line at the polling locations today. Polling locations we're hearing are busy. They were busy this morning. So yeah, get out and vote. It's exciting to be part of it.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks. This is smooth running operation you have here.